Hi, everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into a topic that is just so fundamental to compassionate caregiving: personal hygiene. Now, I know it might sound pretty straightforward, but it's a practice that's really deeply rooted in making sure someone is comfortable, healthy, and maybe most importantly of all, treated with dignity. So, let's get right into it.
But before we get into all the details, I want you to think about this question for a second. What is the single most important goal here? Is it just about being clean or, keeping germs away? Of course, those things are super important, but there's something else, something even more fundamental going on, and we're going to uncover that together.
All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to start with why hygiene is about so much more than being clean. Then we'll hit the daily essentials. After that, we'll cover the crucial role of safety and just being observant. Then we'll touch on some more specialized care, and finally, we'll wrap it all up with the core principles of dignity that tie everything together.
Okay, let's kick things off with that big idea. Personal care is so much more than just the physical act of washing. It's really a cornerstone of a person's entire well-being.
What's really fascinating is just how connected all of these points are. We usually think about the obvious stuff, right? Preventing infections, making sure skin stays healthy. But good hygiene actually improves circulation, it stimulates the body. And that last point? That one is huge. It supports emotional health. I mean, think about it. When someone feels clean and fresh, it can completely change their self-esteem and how they interact with the world. It's a really powerful active affirmation.
So how does all this theory look in the real world? Let's get practical and look at two core routines where these principles really shine: oral hygiene and bathing. Each one of these is a chance every single day to provide truly thoughtful, excellent care.
First up, oral hygiene. And this is not just about having a nice smile. A clean, healthy mouth is absolutely vital for preventing painful infections, for making sure someone can eat properly and get good nutrition. It can even stop more serious health problems from developing elsewhere in the body.
And this right here, this is where your role as a caregiver levels up. You're not just cleaning anymore. You become a health observer. You are the first line of defense. Noticing any of these signs, whether it's bleeding gums or someone having a hard time swallowing, means you can catch problems super early. This is how a simple daily task becomes a critical health check.
Now let's talk about bathing. This isn't just some checklist you run through. It's a process that has to be built on a foundation of respect. It all starts with guaranteeing privacy. That one simple act sets the tone for everything that follows. From there, it's pretty logical. You wash from the cleanest areas to the dirtiest to prevent spreading germs, and you're always gentle to protect their skin. And look at that last point, supporting independence. That is so key for helping a person hold on to their sense of self.
And you guessed it, this routine is another golden opportunity for careful observation. Bath time is the perfect time to get a good look at the skin, to check for any redness, pressure sores, rashes, anything out of the ordinary. Reporting these things right away can stop a small issue from turning into a massive health crisis.
This actually leads us perfectly into our next section, where we're going to put a huge spotlight on one of these ideas: the absolute, non-negotiable need for safety and a caregiver's watchful eye.
I really want this to sink in for a minute. There is zero room for compromise on this. Every single action, every procedure has to be built on a foundation of safety. It is always the top priority. And this is what safety looks like in practice, day in and day out. Yeah, of course it means using non-slip mats and having grab bars, but it also means you have to be actively vigilant, like locking the wheels on a wheelchair before a transfer, and this is a big one: never, ever leaving a vulnerable person alone. Your presence is the single most powerful safety tool you have. Okay, now let's dig into a few more specialized procedures. These go a step beyond the daily basics to give targeted comfort and handle specific health needs, all while keeping that same high standard of dignity.
A back massage. Wow, this can be incredibly therapeutic. It's not just some nice little luxury, it's a real tool. It helps relieve muscle tension, it gets the circulation going, and it provides some deep comfort. And hey, look at that last point again. It's another chance to check the skin on the back, which is a common spot for pressure sores. It's care and observation all rolled into one.
All right, perineal care is an absolutely critical procedure that requires the utmost professionalism and respect. The purpose is crystal clear: to prevent infection and irritation in a very sensitive area. For anyone who is incontinent or has a catheter, this care is just essential for their health and their comfort.
And in that same vein, providing menstrual care has to be handled with real sensitivity. The process itself is straightforward. You change pads regularly, provide good perineal care, and dispose of everything properly. But the guiding principle, always, is dignity, paired with that professional duty to watch for and report anything that seems unusual.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the what and the how. In this last section, let's bring it all back home to the why. What are the core principles that should be guiding every single thing you do?
It really just boils down to these 3 pillars. Number 1, safety is king, always. Number 2, encourage independence whenever you possibly can. The goal is to do with them, not just for them. And number 3, maintain dignity. This is the thread that should run through everything: the privacy you offer, the gentle way you help, the choices you give them. That is the true art of care.
And that's really our big takeaway today. Personal hygiene isn't just a list of tasks you need to check off. It's a craft, one that balances your technical skill with being constantly on the lookout for safety. But the real measure of that craft isn't just how clean someone is. It's about that unwavering commitment to honoring the dignity of the person in your care. The question we should always ask ourselves is this: did my actions today affirm their humanity?